everyone. Good morning. Welcome to a very special episode of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show. I am your host, Melissa P. Dunn, CEO of MD Marketing Network and founder of this Dunn Wisdom Movement. So if you were watching earlier, you may have noticed a little technical glitch. And I have to tell you, God works in mysterious ways. You know, my instincts told me to just come up to the pool and just go live. But instead, I insisted on doing it the old way, which is going live on StreamYard as per usual. And the technology didn't work. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just grab my selfie stick and come up and show you guys exactly where I am. I am broadcasting live right now from the beautiful city of Nashville. I'm here for the National Black Caucus elected local officials conference with the National League of Cities. And so instead of broadcasting from the hotel room, which I started to do, I'm like, you know what? Fluid and flexible. So I'm up at this beautiful pool. I'm at the Grand Hyatt on Broadway. Let me see if I can show you the view a little bit. So this, y'all, is what a Nashville morning looks like. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this church. It's like a mixture of old and new architecture. And this pool, beautiful, is on the 5th floor of the hotel. I was actually hanging out here yesterday with my niece and my mom in between meetings. So today we're going to talk about worth. Self-worth. You know, the truth is that there is a huge distinction between your self-worth and your self-esteem. I'm going to say that again. There is a huge distinction between self-worth and self-esteem. Both exist for us. And the distinction is that your self-esteem, you know, you hear about you have low self-esteem, you have high self-esteem, and your self-esteem affects your confidence. All of that is true. But the key distinction is that your self-esteem is based on external factors. I'm going to say that again. Your self-esteem is linked to external factors. So, for example, it really is based on how you think and feel about yourself. The thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself, and those thoughts and feelings are influenced by external factors, like how much, oh, you can hear me? So sorry. So sorry. Oh, you're listening. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought I was interrupting your morning meditation. Oh, okay. Well, feel free to lean in, brother. But yeah, the distinction between your self-esteem and your self-worth is that your self-esteem is based on external factors. The way that you think and feel about yourself. Like, for example, folks with self-esteem may allow what their boss thinks about their job performance to affect their self-esteem. It may mean what your partner, whether they're behaving or not behaving, think about you to affect your self-esteem. Or how your bank account looks. Or whether or not your client is inclined to sign that contract or pay their invoice on time. All of that affects your self-esteem. And you know, when your confidence is built on external factors, the minute those external factors shift, the minute they start to misbehave, then your self-esteem is affected. It goes up or it goes down. Isn't that a really crazy way to live, right? Isn't that a more stressful way to live? What if I were to tell you that there is a way based on your self-worth, not your self-esteem, that you can be completely in control of not only how you feel, but how you show up in the world. And remember that manifest 90 creation process. Your thoughts trigger your emotions impact your actions, and your actions produce your results, right? So using that framework as a guide, let's lean into what a self-worth distinction looks like. So, self-esteem is based on external factors. Well, your self-worth is based on internal factors. It's based on how you perceive your core values to be. Your core values are your core beliefs. The pieces of your DNA, the things that you have decided are true for you, the things that you have decided are important for you, the things that you have decided are critical in order for you to be your best self. And it has nothing to do with what people think about you. It has nothing to do with how much money that's in your bank account. But it has everything to do with what you believe to be true about you. That's why it's so important for us to be clear about our core values. It's so important for us to be clear about who we believe ourselves to be. And if you're walking around in this world and you're confused about who you are, you're confused about what's important to you, guess what? Anything anybody says about you or don't say about you is going to affect how you feel. It's going to affect what you think your worth is. So, if your worth is based on the value, if your worth is based on the value that you bring, the value that is true for you at your core, then that means that it's unmovable. That means it's unshakable. That means that you, my sister, are 100% in control. You are the only one that then gets to define your worth. So if you're like me and you're an entrepreneur, and you have that product that you're looking to launch, you have that business that you're looking to start, well, guess what? You get to decide the value that you bring. And once you're clear about the value, then you get to communicate that value to others and hold them to that regard. So you don't ever be afraid to ask for what you're worth. If you're on the job and you know that you're bringing value, and you've been clear about communicating the value that you bring, and you've been clear, you hear me? Clear. Me coming closer so you can see my lips. Clear about the impact that value has, then ask for what you want. Ask for what you want, because guess what, baby? You're worth it. You are worth it. Every single dime, every single opportunity that comes your way, you deserve to have it, because greatness is in your DNA. Right? The problem is when you confuse your self-esteem with your self-worth. See, if you're basing your value on external circumstances, then you're in the self-esteem phase. But if you're basing your value based on what you have decided is true for you, the internal factors that you bring to the table, then you're in the self-worth zone, baby. You're in the self-worth zone, and you deserve it. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework assignment, all right? I want you to go. Are you going to do the homework with me, bro?
No, you're not like
What you getting out of it? Do you mind? Can we talk? I'm live now. Is that okay? It's all good? Okay, let's talk. See? Let's talk, bro. So I do a Facebook Live mainly for women of color. For women, really.
Got you.
But listen, what did you get out of this conversation?
The distinction between self-worth and self-esteem, and where to put that and where that goes. Like, it's very specific.
It's very specific.
And until someone points that out to you,
there you go.
You don't get it, because you confuse the two. Like,
correct.
They're
correct.
like that.
Correct.
So
correct.
when you said that, I was like, ah.
You see?
Yep.
And then one is in whose control?
One is in others' control and one is in your control.
Correct. And one is based on internal factors.
Internal and
Internal
external.
factors, meaning that you are the one that gets to define your worth. You're the one that gets to define. And I find that a lot of entrepreneurs, are you an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you find asking or setting your prices?
Well, you know what? I always ask, what's your budget? And then I teeter between like, is it something that will bring me, like, will I learn something from this experience, or am I just doing this for you? So, like, setting prices is really about, like you just said, knowing your worth.
Knowing your worth, knowing your value, and not being afraid to ask for it.
Exactly.
But it has to be true. It can't be a value that's in your head.
No.
You know? Because some people are like, listen, I know that I am like the best event planner ever, but you've got to have the core values,
where's
the
your
core,
resume?
right? You got to have the core standards.
Correct.
And you know that you always show up on time, you always super deliver, you always super exceed expectations.
100%.
You know? Oh wait, let me switch angles.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. We drink the sun.
We drink the sun. Come, there we go. Ooh, even a better view, right? Okay, so what kind of business do you do?
Art direction. So my mom is a retired Hollywood costume designer.
Wow.
And so like I grew up around art and fashion and all that stuff. And so like I just basically turned that into money.
Into money. Oh wow, that is so amazing. How do you open this thing up? There you go. I have a new selfie stick, y'all. Okay. There we go. I'm so happy that you guys are fluid and flexible and flowing with me this morning, because guess what? We do what we do. All right, so tell me about your business. I'm all up in your business.
Well, you know what? So music has always been my life.
Right.
Love it. And so when I went to hit the stage, I needed clothes. So I started making my own clothes.
Wow.
And so from there, people were like, where'd you get that from? And I was like, oh, I made it. And they're like, can you make me one? And I was like, pay me.
Worth, baby, worth.
So from there, I got into like costume design, working at Sony, like short films, TVs, commercials, blah 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 blah. Like, and it just kind of like just snowballed from there. And so it was like the snake eating its own tail. I was able to like make an outfit and then pay for my own art, and continue to go on from there.
Beautiful. And then knowing your worth, how important was that to that process for you?
It got easier. It got easier. At the beginning, it was not. Yeah. But now I understand that process in the work space.
But
in the personal space, I'm trying to figure that out. Some real shit just happened.
Hello. In the personal space. See, and that's the part that trips a lot of us up, right?
All right.
Because that's why it's so important for you, going back to those core values, right?
Yes.
So if you know at your core what it is that you value in a person, in a relationship, whether it's business, professional, or familiar, and you are clear in that, then you don't get to deviate, because values really are consistent. Values are consistent. The part that gets a little bit challenging is when you're looking at external things, like how the person shows up, what the person does, what they say, what they don't say,
or what I'm saying,
or what you're saying.
Yeah,
about
based
on what they do or don't do.
That internal conversation, that internal dialogue. Like, this is why I say it as a joke, but I actually should not say it anymore. And the thing is like, I've said the worst shit about myself already, so can't nobody say anything bad to me about me. But I need to stop whooping my own.
Correct. But let me ask you this.
Does it make sense?
If somebody, let's say that somebody could hear.
Okay.
Somebody was saying about you what you say about yourself, what would you do to that person? Like if you were your own best friend.
I would be embarrassed as.
Correct. And you would be willing to fight, right? If someone externally said to me what I say to myself internally,
we're fighting now. We're
Correct.
on site.
Correct. So then now the question is, how can you shift? How can you shift that habit? Because it's a habit. That's all.
It's a habit. It's a habit.
And a habit can be changed.
So basically, changing that internal dialogue was like me getting it. First off, I'm worth it. I'm cool. We're good. All right. Like let's take it out of that box.
Let's just be clear about that.
Yeah. Let's take it out that box, and then start giving. I wasn't giving myself flowers. Like I woke up. I'm living the dream, period. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Mm-hmm. And starting to and really is a bit of it is talking to yourself, because you will have basically stomp out the ants, automatic negative thoughts. Yeah. You have to stomp out the ants. So as soon as that thought pops into your head, you have to go, no.
Stop it.
Stop that
and then restate it.
Yes.
So let me tell you, there's a process that I call the Manifest 90 creation process, right?
Okay.
First things first is the acknowledgement that what you think creates stuff.
Yes.
You're a creative being. I mean, as an artist, you know this.
Yes.
And where does an idea start? Where does the art start? It starts here, right? So that's the first thing.
One of those two places.
Correct. That's the first thing. So the way the process works is that your thoughts triggers your emotions.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Your emotions inspire your actions, and your actions produce your results.
Correct.
Right? So let's say that you're then thinking a thought that's negative. It usually makes you feel a certain way. And as a result of the feeling that certain way, you either do or don't do things.
Correct.
And then you get paid or not. You get love or not. You get the relationship that you're trying to create or not. Right?
Yeah.
So at any point along that continuum, you can interrupt the process.
It's true.
And shift it.
Yes.
Shift it.
Yes.
Create something
It takes
different.
work though. It takes work, and you have to be very clear on that determination and that goal to get there and go, no, it's okay. You don't have to be the same person you were yesterday.
Correct.
You do not have to.
You really don't.
You don't.
You really don't. And then the other thing too is if you just pay attention to how you feel, if you pay attention to how you feel, that's an indicator as to what's happening up here. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you're feeling any kind of positive emotion, you're feeling happy, you're feeling joyful, you're feeling grateful, whatever.
Yes.
Then you know your thought life, because we're thinking 1,000,001 thoughts a minute, and we're
100%.
very subconscious about it, right?
Yes.
But the way that you feel is an indicator of what's happening on the inside.
Yes.
So if you're feeling good, you're feeling relaxed, any kind of positive emotion, then keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
But the minute you start feeling like shit, the minute you start feeling bad, then you've got to pause and think, okay, what was I just thinking?
Exactly.
And if you can't figure out what you were just thinking, just put on some music. Make yourself feel better, and then later on, go back and ask what you're thinking.
How you doing?
Hello. How are you?
Finding you, man?
I'm well.
All right.
Yes, and that also attracts a different kind of energy. Exactly what you're saying, because when you think shit about yourself, you attract your lives. My bad. Cuss.
That's all right. It's okay, mama.
So you will attract that so it's about that energy exchange. Yeah. That if you change that internal dialogue, then you finally get those things externally that you were looking for.
Yes.
Still can't base your worth on it, like you said.
Correct.
It's a fine line.
Correct.
But you have to flip that script in order to
and get clear about your values.
Clear about your intentions. And my name is Moore, and yours is?
I'm Melissa.
Alyssa, pleasure to meet you. Melissa.
Nice to meet you, Moore.
Thank you.
What a great conversation. Thank you. You blessed me.
The same. The same. Like, I was sitting right there and heard you, and I was like, clearly I needed to hear all this.
And if you even hear how I came up here, I was starting to do the broadcast from the room, and the technology that I used didn't work. But I kept hearing, go by the pool, go by the pool. And so the technology just didn't work. I'm like, okay, I'm going by the pool. And so here I am.
Yeah, I need to hear that. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you for playing with us. I live in Lauderhill, which is close to Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
But I'm from Jamaica originally.
Okay, all right. I just moved here from New York, but I'm born in LA, grew up in Hawaii, and now I live here.
Listen, enjoy.
Right, you as well. Thank you.
All right, my love.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Great conversation.
What you said, I needed that.
Oh, fantastic.
Feed my spirit.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show, impromptu, on location in Nashville at poolside at the beautiful Grand Hyatt. All right, y'all, be well. Remember, be kind and loving to yourself today. You absolutely